It's time to go!
Gentlemen, welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. It is time to go, and don't you ever forget what we are fighting for. Don't flip-flop around, people. Don't let them fool you to say that, yeah, 25%, it's all right. Where have you been? The fight has been going on for 18 years to get the Glazers out of the club as far as I can. And do you believe the audacity now where everyone is jumping on the bandwagon? It's not over until the fat lady sings. Has it been confirmed properly who is the winner is? Ask yourself the hard questions. Where is this money coming from if it's Inos? What are they going to do with it? Is it going straight to the Glazers' pocket? And even if it's portrayed by some stenographers out there to say he's going to be in charge of the sporting operation, but what about the training ground? What about everything that needs to be fixed? We are a decade behind thanks to the Glazers. And people have been DMing me. People have been saying to me, it's over. Give up. Well, I'm too patriot red to give up. This is my club. This is what I love. This is what I fight for. 1958. United against the Glazers. Keep the fight going. It ain't over until the fat lady sings, and we can voice our opinions. We have stopped matches before. We had made sponsors to walk away. Why should we just give up, lay down our weapons, and let this happen? Are you for real? Do you love this club, or do you love the Glazers? The Magnificent Seven is per this thumbnail. Let's burn the house down. Well, you might as well. If you allow this to happen, it's going to be 18 years more, potentially a decade more. You might as well burn the house down, adding on an extra Glazer to the family. Ratcliffe, the Magnificent Seven, like that movie. For what reason, I do not know. But 25% does not make sense. Even if it's a minority investment for you, Ratcliffe, it does not make sense at all. Why would you put money into the Glazers' pocket? For what for? So you can be part of having zero control? So you can be the face out, the CEO, to build the football operation side? To sweeten the deal, to leak out to the press that, hey, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is on board, we're going to have Paul Mitchell, we're going to start recruiting certain, we're going to establish, and Glazer's still going to be in the background handling the commercial, taking more dividends still. And by the way, there is a new Premier League rule, the white paper that came out a couple of months ago, to say no club can be bought under leverage buyout anymore. So where is this money coming from? Are you borrowing the money? Even if you're going to buy out some of the Glazers and keep Joel and Abram in the back seat, that's still not good enough. Some people might not appreciate to have, like, some call it state-backed sport washing for moral issues. Some people think that, yay, if Qatar comes in, we're going to go in on a big spending spree, start bringing Galacticos. That's just assumptions, people, right? Take a look at Newcastle, what they've done through PIF organically. They get rid of Mike Ashton there. They started to build slowly, brick by brick, to build up a sporting operation, a vision, a project, to back the manager. Look where they are now. If you falling for this media apparatus trap, then you're the sheep. Are you the wolf to hunt, or are you the sheep to be swallowed? That's the big question we got to ask here. Is it premature? Are we the only channel or only platform to say stop? Not so fast. Since the news came out, you have to follow what's been printed. Who is saying what, and why are they saying so? From the very first get-go, when this was announced, there's been numerous reports about sports washing, human rights issues. There's been a lot of journalists that are part of that gravy train that's getting some information from some club officials that are not really part of the general sales takeover. They are not. There is specifically some secrecy and NDA, which some people have and obliged to. Some sports journalists getting their information by rumors, by some club officials, by hearsay. And nowadays, as a journalist, that's all you got to go to print with, right? You have tap-in merchants like Fabrizio Romano that heard it. Sky Sports came out first. And in this industry, it's all about being first. It's all about breaking this giant mammoth story. Manchester United is going to get sold to who? Drumroll. Pulitzer Prize. Here we go. But stop. Yesterday, we did follow the evidence. Yesterday, we pointed to the finger that say this started from Sky Sports. What happened then later? Sky Sports started to backtrack to say there might be a possibility that Sheik Jassim comes in with an 11th hour bid. Whoever told that Sheik Jassim was backing out of the process? Was it confirmed by the club officials? Was it confirmed by Rain Group? And every single news that came out yesterday, the club has to comply with before the stock market opens. Because now you've seen the stock market reacted on this news as it was weekend. The stock market has plummeted down. I don't know what it is now, but last time I checked, it was $16 per share. That's a massive drop. So you got to ask yourself the question, why, who is benefiting, and why are they doing so? Right. We know there's a board meeting on Thursday. Right. We know that certain journalistic apparel here in UK favors Sir Inos or Ratcliffe. Therefore, they're banging that drum to say, look, this is what's going to happen, and you are falling for it. To say, well, it's not kind of the end of the world. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because you have to ask yourself the question, what is going to happen if this happens? And what if the bid from Sheik Jassim is good enough to meet the evaluation with solving everyone? Everyone wants this debt-free. Everyone wants to be turning the page. Everyone wants the Glazers out. And don't forget that, people. It's green and gold until we announce and sold. We are not here for sensational news. We're here as a fan base, as a community. I sent out links to people to say, as a fan community, as a channel, please unite, do something. Because one thing they've done for us for the past 18 years is divide and conquer. They win. Dividing us fans, and we are the paying customers. We are the one that are sponsoring them to be in business. Don't you reckon we should have a voice too? I say, not so fast. It ain't over to the fat lady sings. And we're going to talk about it as a community to open up the floodgates for you to come in and have your say. Because we are a global fan-based community, not a sensationalist. We only care about Glazers out, full sale only. It's been Mick Ruby. Let me introduce to the stage Stu Wally. Stu Wally, hot minute. How you doing? You are on mute, my friend. Please unmute yourself so people can hear your voice.
I am. Apologies, Mick. Yes, how are we, pal? You all right?
Yeah. I must say that since this came out, I took a little bit with a pinch of salt. I took a 360 degrees holistic perspective out of myself to actually look what's going on, right? And I must say, I think I'm the only one fighting for it. Like on Twitter, people are saying, lay down, Mick, like it's over, it's over. Who said it's over?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? And I'm with you. And I tried to put myself in Jim Ratcliffe's position, really. Now, before anybody wonders what my credentials are, hi, guys. I'm a commercial director. I understand the basics of business. I understand the complexities of business. But this is a business deal that has never been done before. It's not like when you put a club on the market in the NFL, for example. That club has to, first of all, go to the their specific board to ask if they can be put up for sale. You know,
Yeah.
Manchester United, the Glazers, we have this opportunity, and they can do what they like with it, the Glazers. But to invest 1.3 billion, 1.5 billion dollars, or whatever it is, to hold a very, very minority stake in a business for and Mick will go through this because he's got a better understanding of me. But for him to have any rights whatsoever, there has to be a complete share reissue. They've got to release voting rights. There are no voting rights held outside the Glazers. So they've got to be a share reissue. And a share reissue, as Mick will tell you, is exceptionally complicated because it's got to be done in certain bands that will allow Jim reins to be able to do what he wants to do, you know, on the footballing side. So it's not just a question of, oh, here's 1.5 billion for 25%. Oh, and yes, you can do this, Sir Jim. No. There's got to be a whole raft of new shares. And what these shares will be classed as, nobody knows, because the Glazers could still hold 90% of the voting rights and issue just a very small minority voting stake for Jim. And that could amount to zero influence whatsoever on the board. So here's the complexity of just the share issues itself. And then you've got the size of the stadium rebuild. Then you've got, as Mick pointed out, you've got the training ground rebuild, plus whatever transfer budget, plus getting the right people in place, plus the getting rid of certain areas. You can't just go in and fire people. You know, there are ways that you've got to go and do this. So for me, if I'm somebody as astute as Sir Jim Ratcliffe, unless I am saying, right, 25% 2024, 25% 2025, 25% 2026, and you get a Mick pointing this out, by the way, months ago, a perceived sell-on value, which the Glazers, by the way, will name, and that could be up to, what did you say, Mick, 8 billion potentially?
Yeah, 10. I mean, the club can be valued up after the US World Cup 2026 up to 10 billion. That's what they are saying, reporting out in the media, to be honest, right? And that is kind of, there is no guarantee. So I've never seen anything like this before. Like, you know, that I come to you, Stewie, and I say, I want to buy your house, Stewie. But anyway, Stewie, I'll give you 25% of your house right now. I get to move in, but you get to keep the keys as well. And you can come and visit for a coffee anytime you want. Within 6 years, potentially your house is going to be meeting that evaluation. I'm going to pay you later. It's like, I owe you later. Any smart businessman, I've never seen this before. And by the way, like, you know, there is a rule that came out that nobody can do a leverage buyout anymore. There was a white paper that came out in the Premier League. Nothing can be bought on debt. And what's happened to the debt? Where is this debt going for? There's a lot of question that needs to be asked, and it doesn't make sense. You're right here. Like, you know, some George Banda was saying here, like, you know, other fan channels have changed the tune to start seeing Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I call it flip-flopping. I don't know why. You know, haven't we been all saying Glazes out, like, you know, full sale only? And now, like, you know, because somebody's delivering this kind of sensational news, which is not really fact-checked properly. Because if you go by Reuters, if you go by, let's say, David Ornstein, they are not putting the name to it. David Ornstein, you know, on the transfer market, only comes out to say if he's 100% sure. He said, the only thing he said, their two bids will be presented in a board meeting on Thursday.
Correct.
So what does this mean? Basically, his 69% was challenged, legally challenged. Oh, wow. Fatty gifted 20 memberships. Oh, my God. Sorry, Fatty. Listen, I don't know what to do. Where's...
I'll get the old glasses on for that one.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not here to read it out who became a member. But anyway, Fatty, big up to you. Thank you so much. Everyone, welcome to the community. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I was distracted by this.
You're talking about the two bids.
Two bids. Yeah, but it's always been that process that they were looking for minority investors and they were looking for full sale. You had all the, like, you know, what we call the hedge funds and everything that came there, got the financial papers and pulled out, right? all of a sudden there came a report to say that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid is dead. So he had to restructure because of the challenge of the minority investors to please them. So how is this 25% going to please the minority investors that challenged in litigation because they want to be bought out as well? So 25% is not enough. So majority and Reuters was coming out to say that it's going to bite some of the Glazers. That mean 4 siblings that wants to cash out and keep Joel and Avram in the backseat of the Ferrari while Sir Jim Ratcliffe is driving it. It does not add up to me. It does not add up to me. And you got to ask those tough questions and don't fall for the headlines and what some agenda is trying to push that, they want Sir Jim Ratcliffe to be the winning bid because it's the gravy train. They've been getting leaked story from some club officials. They're not happy with the current situation. They've been kept out of the dark. There's been no appreciation conversation. Nobody knows if their job's going to be saved. So they are leaking the information to certain press, transfer journalists, get information from agents, from scouts, from some club officials that have no dog or no information on what's going on because of NDA processes. That's all it takes to get some confirmation from some club official to run the story. So this started with Sky News, snowballing effect with Fabrizio Romano to say that, yeah, by the way, sources close, like he called up Sheik Jassim's office. They cited due to non-confidentiality, we cannot say. But then he continued, by the way, they are out. Okay, so for me, that's a little bit strange. Fabrizio Romano calling up Sheik Jassim to ask him, hey, by the way, any comment? No, due to NDA, we cannot. Hey, have you here, Fabrizio? We're just going to inform you we're out of the race. Right? Okay, so am I the only one that sees this? And then you see the snowballing effect. Everyone goes down and comes down all the way to Bloomberg that's going panic. Like, well, hang on. We've been running this editorial from the very first beginning. We might have just correlate the story and print it ourselves. Then you see Reuters. What did Reuters say? Reuters said Sheik Jassim refuses to increase his bid on $6 billion.
Correct.
It doesn't say he's out. So somebody's creating the sensational story. They're having a gravy train of a week of a clickbait, so people are falling for it. And now they're painting up this narrative, how it might look like with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But it does not make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, look, I read the Reuters article, and one of the VAR room mentioned, had we read it? I have read it. And they were very non-committal, as Mick, you've said. And they were saying it's got to be ratified at board level on Thursday. Thursday was always going to be critical. Again, Mick, this is something you pointed out a week or maybe even 2 weeks ago, that nothing would be forthcoming until after the results were given, which has been put back a week due to this board meeting that they want to get through in terms of evaluating the bids.
Yeah.
So Reuters have been pretty non-committal. They've suggested what Sir Jim wants to do. They've suggested what Sir Jim or how he's going to try and break it down. But it's only a suggestion on how it could work. It's not official. It's not set in stone. I'm kind of with pretty much with Mick on this. I don't believe a 1.25 billion is going to anywhere near satisfy 4 of the Glazer siblings, because if you think about it, at $6 billion, they were close to making about 700 million each, weren't they? That's what they were looking for. That doesn't happen. But the other good thing about this is, and it's really, really, really quite critical, is the minority shareholders. These are the ones that have threatened litigation if Sheik Jassim wasn't entertained, and they've got to be able to speak to Sheik Jassim. So it could well get blocked by the minority shareholders anyway, because again, as Mick has said, who pockets the 1.25 bill?
Yeah, no.
Where does that go? Where's that money go? What happens with that money? So
True. Anyway, forgive our rudeness. Welcome to the stream, people in the VR room. For you that haven't been here yet, like we call the VR room the chat room. Like you're the video assistant referees here on Realist TV. So big up to all you for making it this way. This is going to be an open community discussion as a global fan base. What we obliged to do, we have to ask the difficult question, which nobody's asking it. So big up for RJ that's here. All moderators: Jamie Wayne, Muhammad Ali. I see Ronak Josish is here. Luan France is here as well. Hello to you. Edward Reed is here. Ooh, there's so many of you like preloaded. There is about 65 likes already, and about how many people are in the chat room now? 300 people in the chat. Guys, we all feel you. We all see you. We're going to sort of try to catch up with you. Sadek is here as well. Ian McDonald is here. Stephanie Griffiths saying 19 likes, but that's kind of going up now by understanding. It's really going up, not like the Glazers stock share at the moment going down. So yeah, Edward Reed is here as well. Big up, Edward Reed. Thank you for all the messages today. Welsh Dragon Phil, what did you say, Mick? This 25% won't work. Name another club in the world of football that has been successful with that dual ownership. We're talking about also dual ownership because currently, Nice, they're sitting in second league in League 1. So what's happened now? If we finish top 4 and they finish second, then we fall up from Champions League. Right, 71 likes. The temperature is rising. Today, I feel Ratcliffe, was Dark Crow is saying. Well, if you feel rat, you feel like a rat. But we're here to cook ratatouille, Chef Gustoy. Hello. We always have to cook some ingredients together, right? Preach, Mick. I'm not preaching. I am just applying logic and reasoning. There's something that doesn't really exist because, in today's media, I must say that we run with the story, take it or leave it, shut up, don't question. It's kind of been like this, right? You're not allowed to talk about certain things. And if you question it, you get blocked or you get removed or you get censored or banned. But not on this channel. We're here to open, and talk openly about the situation, what's going on. Big up Alien Tenno as well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're healing well, Peter, as well. I saw you were messaging me as well before. Scotty at the wheel is here as well. Mark Davis. What do you say, Mark Davis? Hi, Mick. I have heard that Qatar walked away. That's the turn of happening. This shares. Well, they never said they turned away. They're using this as a silence, right? Have you heard any statement coming out directly from Rain Group? Have you heard any statement coming out from Qatar itself? Have you heard anything confirming the story that they actually walked away? Is this a play for the gallery? You got to ask yourself those questions, right? The bid is on the table. As far as I understand, by my business logic, you got to, any of this kind of news needs to be reported to SSC by the club and so they have not made any decision. 100% no, they haven't. That's the thing.
It's a great point, Mick, about Rain Group.
Yeah.
And nobody can comment.
Nobody can comment.
To comment. And the other thing is, you guys, you've got to bear something in mind. There could be potential litigation here from disgruntled shareholders.
Yep.
It's not as plain and as simple and as easy as people think. It's not like me giving Mick 100 quid. There you go, Mick. There's 100 quid, mate. And I'll buy your microphone. It just isn't like that, because when every deal comes in, and you've also got to bear something in mind, right? Inos, or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, is investing $1.25 billion. He's not investing that as a minority shareholder in Apple or Microsoft or Amazon, where $1.25 billion buys you nothing. He's investing in a football club.
Yes.
That's what you've got to understand.
Big up, Tom Journalist, my friend. Evening to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well with your family member. All love and respect from the Mufc Realist TV, my friend. All the respect back to you as well, sir. If you want to come in, ease your heart. I will share the link later on. If you have the power and strength, you're always welcome on this channel. So big up, send Tom a lot of love here. I don't know really, I don't pry on your business, Tom, but I can understand reading between the lines that something really tragic happening in your family. So our condolences and hope everything is okay with you, sir. Yes, but to speak the facts, to speak the reality of the story is basically to say that he bought himself a ticket into the boardroom, basically. So he was forced to restructure his bid to make it into the boardroom, to be part of that discussion, right? Some people say, well, he's desperate. Well, some people, what I heard say, well, this is the polite way to say the exit, right? Because if you couldn't get the 65% or 69, which was challenged, how come does make sense that you put in 25% and that's going to be accepted? That is less, with less power, with less control. I mean, surely you're letting yourself down. There's some people saying that this is the long goodbye from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There's some people that believe that, the Qatar bid is much, much higher than it's been reported. And there's some bids to say that, I think that it was Romano that said that they offered another bid, which will say Glazers said no. Where did this come from? A lot of things. Nobody really knows. It's a freaking mess, to be honest. So, as a realist that I am, all we can find out is after Thursday. And never, people, I will give you a piece of advice. This is how I survived this weekend. Never, ever let your fear and emotions cloud your judgment. Never. Because it's always fear. They're playing on your fear. And they're playing on your emotions. If you just take a step back, follow everything what's been printed and said and done, start putting the pieces together, and you can quickly realize that this is a kind of a nothing burger. They started to say, he won the race. He hasn't won the race. Nobody has won the race as of yet. So therefore, I'm saying be cool and composed, and welcome to Mufc Realist TV. Here we don't shy away from asking the good questions. Welcome, Jarvis Cocker, to the stream as well. You've been hanging around for a long time. Sorry, we did not forget you. My friend, my good Norwegian Jarvis, Glazers out, Jarvis. How are you feeling today, sir?
Well, a little bit tired. I'm late because I was putting my son to bed, and
you
we were
always late, Jarvis.
Yeah, and we both fell asleep. So yeah, it happens sometimes. It's been a rough
We want to
day,
hear your opinion, Jarvis. We want to hear your opinion. You've been sleeping on this as well since we did a podcast yesterday. Yeah,
I have.
You messaged me with something very interesting this morning.
Yeah. My mind is going 100 miles an hour at the moment, just to figure what's going on. But we can talk about that later. I have been thinking for myself now. I feel the gloves are off, and to be honest, I will be on the Glazers and Sir Ratcliffe's neck until they prove me wrong, because we know they are what you call financial acrobatics, and they can do all the acrobatics in the world, but it can't save the Glazers the fact that they are incompetent running a football club. And now Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Inos have thrown them a lifeline so they can stay on for 10, 15 more years. I don't believe in anything about he will buy them out in a couple of years. I don't think so. Because why? I ask myself the question, why? Because they have always wanted a minority stakeholder. That was the beginning. They went to Saudi. That's what they wanted. And now they got the minority stakeholder. Why did they want it? Why didn't they want the full buyout? It's because they want to stay. And they are staying. And that pisses me off. And I will fight them with all my heart.
Yeah, no, we don't know for sure. Yeah, there was a notion that they wanted to stay because they might see a potential in earnings after 2026 and stuff like that. There might be some notion to see that, something happened in the transfer window which prevented us to spend more money on the players. We were operating on that bond overdraft, so we had to finesse the deals and stuff. Something that was telling me that something was going on already there. We said, we would probably hear something after the transfer window closes, close to this financial report review, because this is the financial review. So this is where they have to disclose what they've been doing for the past year. Is it sale? Is it no sale? Is it still ongoing? Right. And we will find out. But if it's two bidders, nobody has been really given the exclusivity. It's been a parallel process, which is called shadow bidding, masterminded by Rain Group, Joe Revich himself. And it's always been to up the bid, up the bid, up the bid. And Qatar kind of felt that, hang on, are we the only one serious bidder that are willing to offer 2 times more than the overall evaluation on Forbes, which is a now point, I think it's now Forbes is saying 4.8 billion totally. So even if they put in 6 billion, nobody's that stupid to pay 2 times over a Fiat or Skoda, right? From 1978, a Skoda. You know that it's worth 200,000 or something, whatever. You know what I mean? 2,000.
20,000.
20,000. And all of a sudden you're going to buy it for 60,000. Yeah, nobody wants to buy a rusty old Skoda, right? And plus, you have to put in so much money into the stadium, the complex, to fix up everything. 95 likes.
We've got a super Alien Tenno.
Oh, yeah, Alien Peter Tenno. Mate, you're going to come in later on. We're going to hear from you. Alien Tenno, big up. Has Sir Jim given us double glazing? You can blow that deflated Arsenal balloon. Yeah, big up, Peter. You'll come in and talk later. There's a lot of questions that needs to be asked. And listen, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, all for coming in here. Let me share this to the stage because I want to discuss this. I want to discuss the only sane journalist so far that I've seen has been questioning it. And if we can remove Edward Reed's comment, which I do appreciate Edward Reed, but I want to read this together. Can everyone see this to the stage? Or should I increase it more? I can zoom in a little bit more.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit.
A bit, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, then. So Kave, with all due respect, has been the only one tweeted out to say Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Inos expected to run Manchester United Football Club operations as part of the deal to buy 25% of the club. They want to buy United, phase takeover. This is a phase. This is for me the same what Malcolm Glazer did, right? Same model, phased takeover. And the 25% stake is seen as first step in the process. Outstanding questions for Ratcliffe and Inos. Here we come. Here comes the gloves off. Big up, Kave. I do love you for this one. Where is that 1.3 billion coming from? Is it a loan? Is it a loan? Because here, some smart gentleman called Arnius Magnus was saying, I thought we had told few months ago that the Premier League passed the resolution that clubs will not and cannot longer bought or loan borrowed money anymore. What?
Yeah, they can not longer be bought with borrowed money anymore.
Yeah. So that he raises a good question there. So this is just going to tie this into the fray as well. Where is that 1.3 billion coming from? Is it being borrowed? If so, who is responsible for paying it back? Wow. Mm-hmm. Finally, somebody's asking the tough questions. We're not going to just take it. We're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it. You know what I mean? You remember that song? Yeah. How long will it take for them to own the whole club? ? Will it take 6 years, 4 years, 3 years, 20 another years, 18 other years? When will the Glazers be leaving in that case? Are they definitely going?
They won't. ?
This is such a good question tweet. I love you, Kave, for this one. What role are the Ratcliffe's advisors, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, playing in this deal? Bank rolling again. Remember that, in the beginning, don't forget this. This was well documented that he was going to bankroll this through JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. How much money are they taking? Who is paying them? JP Morgan worked with Malcolm Glazer when he bought United controversial for 790 million LBO 18 years ago. So it's the same bloody bandits here involved.
Do you think Ed Woodward is involved?
Yes, 100%. He's still consulting.
Yeah.
He's still consulting, and Ed Woodward is getting 0.05% of the sale. He's still getting paid out. People, remember this. They also backed the doomed European Super League by 2021. Same freaking banks backed the Super League, which was then orchestrated by Ed bloody Woodward.
Yeah.
That failed, so Ed Woodward walked away, or did he actually get sacked, or did he just walk away to operate in the background to orchestrate this deal, to work alongside Joe Revich? Nobody knows, because he was involved with the leverage takeover when Malcolm Glazer took over. What part of me feels that he still has his fingers in the pie structuring this deal as well? Question mark. Will the money be spent on? Is it all going to the Glazers, apart from what will be going on the owners' A shares, which are traded on New York Stock Exchange? Good question. What is going to happen to United's debt, which is climbing almost to 1 billion in March? United was debt-free before Glazers arrived, and the ownership has cost United more than 1 billion in interest, dividends, and bank charges. Plus, we still own in transfer market fees, which we have used the credit card on every single transfer. We still have to pay clubs for transfer fees. It's been a shambles, people. What are the plans for redeveloping Old Trafford and the training ground? Another uppercut. Are Ineos using the sports investment or greenwash their image as an operator polluting industries? Big uppercut there, because they've been like, this is coming to say that Sheik Jassim is sports washing, but what about Ineos and their image for using greenwashing? Greenwashing. Fracking is a dangerous industry. And rest assured that they own the fracking rights under Old Trafford as well. PED 1947 or something, what it's called. What will happen with Nice and Lausanne, other clubs owned by Ineos? We mentioned this before, guys. We mentioned this before. If Nice finish second in Ligue 1 and we finish fourth, we are not allowed to play in Champions League. A lot of question marks. Ratcliffe has met Erik ten Hag. How much faith does he have in the manager? Will money be made available to strengthen the squad? It's not enough. What will Dave Balesford's role be at United? Who is Dave Balesford? Do you know who Dave Balesford is?
Yeah. So Brailsford is an ex-GB cycling guru, and he left GB and went to head up the Sky racing team, which was subsequently taken over by Ineos. So Dave Brailsford is well known as a meticulous, detailed person, but he sails so close to the line in as much that he will tilt the line. So one or two of his riders for Sky, for example, Bradley Wiggins, any cycling guys in the VAR room will know this. They were kind of caught with a therapeutic exemption, which in cycling allows you to have a specific, if you've got asthma, for example, you can take an inhaler. It's just a basic form of it, but you can take an inhaler, but that has performance enhancing attributes to it. But to get that, you have to take a therapeutic exemption. And Bradley Wiggins was almost, well, he was accused of it. So Dave Brailsford.
Okay, so he's not a footballing person. He's a cycling person.
Correct.
Yeah. I have Andy Tate in the background as well, waiting to come in. Andy, please bear with us. I see you waving in the background. Big up to you, Andy. He was on earlier on Man United Agenda as well. So if you missed that show, go check it out. There's our neighbor channel as well. So Dave Balesford, okay, he's a cyclist. Okay. Will there be a new sporting director? Well, this has been flagged to be like Paul Mitchell, which didn't do magic in Nice as well. This has been papering, to sweeten the deal, to make you deluded, to say if they come on board, we will have a football director. Throw out John Murtaugh because he's crap. We know he's crap. Right. That's still not enough. Will executives be staying, and who has been going? And what about the voting rights, people? What about the voting rights? These are freaking best questions I've seen over the weekend by a journalist, a professional, mature journalist that didn't jump the gun, by the way, that did not jump the gun. Same journalist came out to say earlier today that do not be surprised if you see Sheik Jassim come back on the 11th bid. Do not be surprised if Ineos bid crumbles. Did you see that tweet? Did you see that tweet?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't. Who said it?
I haven't seen it.
This is news to me. If you could enlighten me, please do.
I'm going to go back, and I had it before.
Back in time.
Yep, back in time. I'm going to add it to the stage, people. I'm going to add it to the stage. So, Kave quoted today. This is a quote from a account called Man United Reports, but it's still Kave Sports that said it. Do not totally rule out a scenario whereby Ratcliffe deal falls apart, and that gives an opportunity for Sheik Jassim to re-enter the process. First and foremost, he's already in the process. He's never left the process. His bid is on the table. Sheik Jassim does not have the finances. Sheik Jassim does have the finances to buy Manchester United at what he believes is a premium price. So we always said that they are not stupid businessmen. They will not overpay. But if they feel threatened, if they have announced that we want this club, I was watching ESPN Sport. I was watching, what's his name, this French guy, Leboeuf. Apparently that he's employed by Sheik Jassim, and was talking very good things about Sheik Jassim and how much he loves football. He's crazy about football. He is a Manchester United fan. You know, he lives and breathes football. And the question is, has he been led to the path of, yeah, I will put 8 billion down just to get this club. I will overpay no matter what because I want it. I think that this has been played out as a gallery for the media to say that, you know what, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is British. We don't want sports washing. Remember Sky Sports when they broke the news? She finished off the presenter with a smirk to say sports washing. Sheik Jassim is out. Do you remember that? Audacity to say sports washing. What about greenwashing?
Sport washing is a new buzzword that we learned from the BBC a couple of years ago. Now everybody knows it, and now we are aware.
Okay, I'm just putting out there because we have to ask those difficult questions. We got to scrutinize every single bid that comes in from right here, right now. I don't care if it's Sheik Jassim. I don't care if it's Inos. For me, it's 100% Glazers out, full sale only, turn the page. But with 25% with the potential within 6-7 years, with bankrolling from JP Morgans and all this stuff, this is something that I don't want. And this is something that we raised a long time ago, red flag. And if you accepting this bid as a Manchester United fan, then you are a freaking Glazers sin supporter, according to my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
Then you are the problem. That you will still feed the Glazers. I was watching Adam yesterday, from the United Stand. He runs his own channel now, United Vibe. He's got it. He's got a season golden ticket. He said his son is going there. He's got a season golden ticket. But everyone is thinking to give up the tickets. Alien Tenor was writing to me the other day as well. I'm thinking to hand over my ticket as well. I cannot stomach this. Luckily, I'm not living in Manchester. I don't, like you, Andy. I don't live there. I'm not privileged.
This is emotional blackmail, mate. This is what it is. This is playing with your emotions, because, like you say, if you're one of the lucky ones, I've seen the abuse people are getting. People from far afield, around the world, giving match day going fans the grief. You know what I mean? So, okay, let 75,000, 53,000 season ticket holders give up your tickets just like that. Been in your family for generations, since the 50s, 60s to this day, and you want to get another 53,000 who'll just come in.
Yeah. I'm just going to go back to Fatty. Thank you, Fatty, for gifting 20 memberships. We had Dominic Caswell that was gifted a membership. Was it Angie?
Gifted. Angie. 20,
Angie gifted. Oh, was it Angie and Fatty gifted?
As well.
Angie as well. Wow. Big up Angie. One of our. I messaged you earlier, Angie, to say, there's no words from my heart to express my gratitude, how much you have meant for this channel. in the background, being there, being the trooper of the realist, what do you call it, VR room, constantly gifting and giving. I mean, you have a heart of gold, Angie, and everyone that's in here, everyone that's coming back. No agenda FC. That's what we're all about. So thank you, Rushman. Breaking, devastated to hear about the shooting of 2 Swedish fans in Brussels this evening. What?
It's appalling, isn't it? Appalling.
What?
Is this football related?
Yeah.
Yes,
Is it? Yeah.
yeah,
Sweden played Belgium today.
Yeah.
What?
Now, there's more to this than that, That's political as well. There's more to that.
Yeah, game's abandoned. They haven't said too much about it. They don't know, obviously, but the game's been abandoned. But 2 fans, shot.
Was the match being played tonight, tomorrow?
Tonight. It was abandoned. The game was abandoned.
Listen, the world is in turmoil at the moment. There's a lot of things that's going on. How much can we stomach? Sorry, YouTube algorithm. We're talking about Israel and Palestine. We're talking about conflict in Ukraine. We're talking about the collective West is trying to stronghold everyone. We're talking about censorship in the media. We're not allowed to say things, right? And this part of this takeover feels also is part of geopolitical as well, in a way. It feels that you are not allowed to question certain journalists. It was abandoned the first half. Rest in peace for these fellow Swedish countrymen of mine. I did not get to watch the game. Phil, I one of my troopers colleagues for fighting the Glazers. One thing you can trust the media. You can't trust the Glazers, the liars, snakes, parasites for a reason. 18 years fans has been through enough. You can't trust them. And that's what I'm trying to say. How much do you trust these reports that's coming out? If you believe what's been printed, then you've been fooled. What we're trying to hear, what we did here yesterday, Jarvis, you were not part of here, Andy, or you were not part of it. We followed everything and we connected the dots. And we came to a conclusion that it started from some leaks, similar to what happened to Mason Greenwood's story, leaked out to the press. They published it, and then they retracted everything. So is it the same people that are feeling that there's no loyalty within the club anymore? They don't know if they're going to keep the job. Some journalist knows that if Qatar comes in, it's the end of the gravy train, Andy, what we talked about.
Yeah, I think it is. And I've had a lot of conflict of emotions since Saturday night. It's really a piece, like I say, a piece of me. I lost a piece of myself Saturday. A piece of me died, and I'll never get it back because.
Yeah, I saw your rant. I heard your rant.
Yeah,
everyone remembers it.
Yeah, it's like on Saeed's telly. It's like I just let fly, and after that, I got an early night because I was angry. I thought, sleep it off. Just went to bed. I had a beer or two. You know what? Man United spoilt me night. And I was all set for the pizza night. And when you come in with a pizza, I didn't even eat the pizza. Man United will spoil your weekend even without playing. That's what they do. So I just went to bed angry, naffed off, try and sleep it off.
Well, your rant was legendary. It's going to go down in history books, Andy. Totally understand. We on the other hand, we took a back seat and we did a total opposite, and we didn't hit the panic button, and we still don't hit the panic button. If everyone is running with the what's going to look like with Ratcliffe running, new sporting directors? No, no, we're not giving up. We're not giving up.
There is one small thing. If you look at the trajectory of our club right now, there's no way in 3 years and 4 years' time Manchester United will be worth £7 billion. It just won't be. It's likely to be worth £2 billion. It ain't going to be worth £7 billion. Not a hope in hell. Irrespective of any kind of new television deal, it just won't happen because the way that we are at the moment on our lack of infrastructure or lack of investment. Look where Aston Villa are currently. Look where Brighton have risen to currently. Look what magic is going on at Brentford. Look what magic is going on at Liverpool, City, Tottenham. Chelsea will come good eventually. Arsenal right now. We are maybe 10th at best.
We're 10 years behind.
Yeah, you know, and so this gamble that people are suggesting that the Glazers could sell for 10 billion in 2026, it's fanciful. It's very, very fanciful. It just won't happen. Not right now.
I just say we might just burn the house down if this happens.
Yes.
Like this thumbnail, like, you know, Andy. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe gets in and wins this, which I doubt he will, because there's so many question marks about Sky Carver also question like I do. I doubt it will. We might as well just burn Old Trafford down and watch it burn.
There's so many ifs and buts and maybes. We don't know what's going on. And until we get clarification or it falls through or it's rubber stamped.
Dobro večer, Miloš.
And the fans get briefed. The fans get we can't be kept in the dark like this. Say this time next week, there's just an announcement. That's it. Nothing has been revealed. And we're still in the dark. Then that is dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous territory.
Dangerous territory, Andy. Staff needs to also be briefed.
There's people at the club who's like, this is their job. You know,
Kathy at the reception.
This is their life. You know, I need to make a decision. Do I need another job? Do I walk out? Or there's people already lining up their own jobs and just going to Man United. You know what? I'm out. Ciao.
We're not going to know, Andy. We won't know for 2, 3. We won't know till the first week in November after the financial.
We may never know, mate. Are Man United obligated to release a statement?
No, they're not. Only to the stock exchange. They've got to release to the stock exchange.
Yeah, stock exchange.
Any of this news. From a public media point of view, have United got to engage with the fans, even if it is Sir Jim Ratcliffe answering his own hand-picked questions in front of MUTV?
Nope. The obligation is the New York Stock Exchange. That's it, and they can, you know.
Well, that is dangerous territory because, like I say, next home game's a Manchester derby in the league. So
it is.
You really don't know what's on the horizon if you keep quiet.
Well, the 58 are going to go for it, aren't they? The 1958 are going to mobilise. They're going to go for it.
There's one person they want to bring to the fray.
No, but I would suggest, Andy, that's what will happen, mate. I mean, you know, I've not heard anything, but I would suggest they will, and so they should.
There's one person that I want to bring to the fray, and there's one person that everyone should learn the name of. Is Neil Ashton. Neil Ashton is the PR consultant involved with Manchester United. He used to work for where? The Sunday Sun, the supplement, stuff like that. He is a mastermind. He runs his own PR agency, and he's been spinning us dizzy for quite a while, right? I wouldn't surprise that he's leaking out some fillers, because what you need to do within customer fan base is called engagement, to do pulse service, to understand what is your audience want, like what is the customer want. You know, you won't launch a product without, you know, doing market research first. So what we've seen here has been leaks after leaks, leak after leaks. It's been internal disarray. And I've been saying there is somebody within that club that's giving information to these vouchers, these stenographers, so-called journalists, that's been, you know, having a feast the whole summer until up to now. Now, it's been weekend, and they've been having a clickbait week, right? They are making so much money out of themselves, not even mentioning names, because you know who they are. It's the usual suspects, right? Even Here We Go, Mr. Here We Go get involved to tap it in, right? Why? You want to have the Pulitzer Prize to break the story? Why? Who is suffering? Who are you hurting more? Are Manchester United fans that are bleeding for this club, that are investing in this club, but say, hey, wait a minute. You got to ask the question, why are you doing so? Who is benefiting for? Since this came out, the stock prices is now plummeted down to 16.41 by my understanding.
Can I just say, is this the same tactic what they use for the Mason Greenwood situation?
I would say so, yes.
Right.
I would say so. We said it yesterday.
Testing the market.
Testing the market. What if?
Yeah.
And now you can see, because now you can see that same journalists are now spreading out the joy train to say, well, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he's going to bring in sporting, he's going to be in charge of the, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. We're going to bring in Paul Mitchell, la, 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 la. So basically you forget, divide and conquer. Clear. We've seen this blueprint before. Wake up, people. It's been 18 months, 11 months of this shit.
What
And it's the
football
same.
club would put the fans through this? Would
They
any
don't
other
care
club
about
on
you
the planet do
fans.
this?
They don't put club before. Are they loyal Manchester United fans, or are they fed gravy trainers? Because Manchester United, no matter what, if we win or lose, if you just speak and open your mouth as a journalist about Manchester United, how much money are you making? It's a money-making machine, and you know that, right?
Much as I hate Liverpool, not even Liverpool would do that to their fans. Not even.
Well, how much have we
City.
suffered?
Yeah.
Ask any Manchester United fan globally.
Would do that to the fans. And this is the prime example of evil. You know what I mean? That to
Pure
play
evil.
with people's feelings.
Andy, you're a lifelong fan like myself. I'm a 30-year season ticket holder. You know, got me plaque on my seat, etc., etc. But here's the thing that doesn't add up for the Ratcliffe bid, and that is they're talking about Ineos then looking to expand the stadium. You as an individual, okay, are not going to plow in $1.5 billion, 1.5 billion quid, okay, for a small stake of 25%, and then put another billion quid on top to invest in Old Trafford, and then maybe another $500 million to invest in Carrington. You're not going to do it. And that's where it doesn't, this Jim Ratcliffe bid doesn't add up. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
For me, it's the humble exit. For me, it sounds like a humble exit. If I think with logic, somebody's putting out there over the weekend, so the stock market is crashing down to 7.98. Jarvis, what does this mean from a buyer perspective? That means that you can then go out and buy out very, very much. You know, they will just go in and buy a lot of volume.
Can these share prices? Yeah. Can these share prices? I'm not an expert. Can they drop to zero?
No.
Well,
no,
basically not. But the valuation before the Glazers rumors and the buyout rumors were in, it was about $13. So that's about where the valuation is. But now it's inflated because of the buyout rumors.
Yeah, actually, Jolly is saying it closed at 17.90.
Yeah, but what's happened with that is there's been a flash sale. Somebody's done a flash sale, dumped a load of shares on the market over the last 24 hours. That's what's happened with that.
And that could be one of the other four siblings.
Yeah. So what happened here?
Anyone who holds shares. They didn't say what shares, but I would imagine there's a flash sale on Class A gone.
There's a lot of questions you got to ask as well. As a private shareholder, if you hold shares in the Class A shares, will you get a buyout? Will you not be buyout? Will Lindsay Train, Boehringer, Arias, and all will them get buyout? It's not enough. It's not enough. If they hold 31% of the Class A shareholders, it's not enough to buy 21% or 25%, right?
Yeah, and the problem is also, Andy, with that is if you are an institution and you're a pension fund or a hedge fund, you've got to get top dollar. That's the whole idea. You've got to get top dollar for your investors, and it just isn't. It's not going to work.
Hold that, Ivo. Yeah,
I just want to say when it comes to flash sale, the Glazers has had to know about this for a good time now, a couple of weeks. The 12th of October, there was a really big sell because it was a pump and dump that happened.
That's it.
The Glazers own about 4% Class A shares of their 69%. The rest of the 65 is Class B shares. So I suspect that they just dumped out a big part of their shares to New York Stock Exchange of their Class A.
Yeah. And don't forget, Jarvis, as me and Mick were talking about earlier, if Sir Jim goes in with 25%, 1.5 billion or whatever it is, you've then got to reconvert some Class B shares into whatever guise that they want for him to get any type of vote. Actually, yeah, he's right. It's stock manipulation. He's absolutely right, James.
Big up Ivo Bosic to say the Rain Group would probably be the ones to announce anything about the sale. to the public, not especially to the fans, and not especially will Rain Group go to Fabrizio Romano or Sky News or those kind of things. You always have to question if there's NDA in place, if there's secrecy. They ask for comments. Bloomberg said 92 Holding Foundation did not confirm, but they said they will not raise the bid any higher. So basically what it is this is basically because they feel that their bid, they've been played. We're not going to overpay. This is our final. But if this board meeting said, now you have given Ratcliffe time to restructure his bid, the bid has been submitted. Now they're going to review it and discuss it within the board. That's how it works. So basically they're going to present Apple 1 versus Apple 2. You get my point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there will be probably still time for anyone to sort of put more money into the table. Because
also, Mick, sorry, just as a very, very short side note, you must also take a lot of comfort in the fact that Jassim won't up his bid if he doesn't want to up his bid. That shows
he's not a mug.
No, exactly. It shows this, a level of astuteness that those idiots over at Abu Dhabi wouldn't give a damn about, and they would just, or anyone from Saudi Arabia would have just floored it out. These guys know what they're doing. The due diligence. They know what they're doing.
Rain Group is owned by a Mubadala Investment, which is an Abu Dhabi company, if you didn't know.
I didn't. No.
City. Yeah, Manchester City. But I'm taking everything in consideration what's been said and done. Geopolitics, sports washing, greenwashing, human rights, LBQT, everything has been thrown into the mix. The Mason Greenwood story, Anthony, the allegations, everything adds up and it's leaking like somebody is leaking it out from a club level. Some people are leaking up to the apparatus, right? So something
deliberately or just out.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because if you have a staff that don't understand if their job's going to be safe or not, you have no loyalty. You will have internal war, basically. You have no loyalty, so you will talk to the press. There can be senior official, junior officials, but they don't have anything to do with the the sales takeover process. They're just reporting on what they've been hearing in the cafeteria or something like that. That's all it takes for journalists to print a story.
Must be a big cafeteria.
No, I mean, true. I mean, proper journalists, you can understand this. So it doesn't exist anymore. The way that I grew up and the way I was schooled is probably you have to fact check, run one side of the story, check with the other side until you got everything factual right. And this is what I like about Ornstein. Ornstein was the only one that wouldn't go with this story. He said exactly what's going to happen. He said both bids are going to be presented in a board meeting on Thursday. Right. So I wouldn't say who's lying, but who is creating this narrative for you fans to panic, to say, oh, it's over, and then switch to the story to say, well, put more cream on top of that cake to say, well, imagine what will it be with Ratcliffe. Yeah, we will bring you, Paul Mitchell. He will start from the ground and build up, and eventually within 6-10 years. No, Sky Carver questioned it perfectly. Big up. That's responsible. Mick, it's not a surprise board meeting this Thursday evening before next game. It will be official with New York Stock Exchange before the Manchester City game. So all done before any planned protests. Juddy, guys, what do you reckon? That's a big thought, right?
Yeah, I would say they've looked at like that is potential for like a Liverpool type postponement. That is a powder keg waiting to happen.
That's a can of worm what 1958 is working on.
Have they said, I want to see if they work on something? I mean, is this going to go on the level of Liverpool?
Listen, I am behind 1958, 100% full sale only, no Glazers. If we have stopped matches before, this will be, I urge you guys on a friendly matter, but this podcast is to protest, Andy, you're coming in from a certain channel. I asked people to come in from different channels to unify. It ain't matter if Terry Flew is sitting there on terrace, Mark Goldbridge there, you on the paddock. Everyone needs to come together and say enough, right?
But they won't make, because they've all got their own agendas. They're contracted to themselves. I'm not contracted to anybody. I'm freelance. I drift like the wind.
So you mean the corporate backed clicked? They have to.
I would say that most fan channels are independent, but you will get some who will look after themselves, and that's unfortunate. You know what I mean? The fan base will never unite, and that's the sad thing, really. It will. I mean, this channel's united, but like you say, all channels won't reach out to one another because they're very critical of one another. You know what I mean?
It needs it, but it won't happen. No, you're absolutely right.
This is what the Glazers want. They want divide
and conquer.
Listen, I'm open. Yeah. I'm always open. I'm polite. I'm inviting people. I have no beef. I have no dog in the fight. I'm a United supporter, Patriot Red, and as a fellow content creator, we are in the same space. We are neighbors.
Right? Yeah, but there's other channels who, what can I get out of this? If I get into this, that's the way the human.
It's like a leftist versus right policy, or what?
That's the.
Are we the right wing and they're the left wing? Are liberals?
If we can unite, what do I get out of this, guys? Privately, what do I get? Do I get exclusivity?
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, by the way, the thing about the City game in a couple of weeks' time, they've got to announce figures. They've got to announce the figures next week. So I don't know.
The only Manchester derby we don't lose.
I don't know whether you'll see an
Wait. Kicks, where did you go? Kicks.
Oh, very good Kicks. Yeah.
Hang on. Bring back Kicks.
Wolf, doesn't he? Yeah.
Okay, Kicks. Big up for you for coming in with your contribution, Kicks. Haven't seen your name before, but welcome to the channel, my friend. I work with stocks in Canary Wharf. Man United stocks will drop. Is it drop or crop? Drop, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the spelling. Again, when the stock market opens tomorrow, it will drop again tomorrow. Big up Kicks, big insights from somebody who works with the stock market. It is bound to drop based on this news. Stock market, Kicks, you can agree that it reacts on news. Stock market is only about speculations and valuations and speculations. This could be deliberately dropped over the weekend to make the market react. I don't know, Kicks, what you think, but manipulation might be. There's smart money, there's dumb money,
Yeah, if this is Wolf of Wall Street, I tell you what, it's an Academy Award winner, this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, as Leonardo DiCaprio would say, is any of this legal? Absolutely effing not.
No, don't forget, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has been up before the board for stock manipulation.
Yeah, but there's certain ways you can get away with it.
Yeah, with Tesla on more than one occasion.
Yeah. Kicks is saying it is false marketing. He agrees. It dropped again just before it closed, so keep an eye on the stock list tomorrow. So you can manipulate the stock market by leaking out certain information. It can come up from everywhere because the stock market reacts on the information that's come out from the news. 100%. 135 likes, people. Please, we haven't forgot about the VR room, guys. If you're watching, please, we are not the greedy Glazers. What we do care about is for this video to get promoted, and the only way it gets promoted if you leave as many likes as possible, because that will beat the YouTube algorithm. Please. So if you can do that now, if you haven't smashed the like, if you haven't subscribed, you don't have to subscribe. It's mandatory. But if you do care about, Manchester United as your family, want to support this channel, please do so. Thank you so much. As it said, 1958 full sale only. Rush Mano is saying, big up Rush Mano, one of our loyal followers here as well. Guys, I think I said what I had to say. I want to hear from the fans.
Nick, just touching on Alien Tenno, he says if the stock drops and Ratcliffe buys them up, think about it. It's not the share voting stocks that he's buying. pal. That's the problem. So we could go and buy Class A shares, and it's absolutely will make no difference whatsoever to the club and to the way the club's run. It's got to be Class B shares, and none of those are up for sale.
Yeah, but the media, I agree with Alien Tenor. The media apparatus here, the powerful ones, are banning the Glazers out protests, and they've been trying to silence and censor it, right? And this is what gets me at the end of the day. So you got to ask the question, on which side are you on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sheila, big up to you. Sheila, I see you guys. If you want to come in and have you say, I'm open to share the link to come in and have you say, come in, talk to us, have 1 minute, express yourself. What do you think? Do you think this has legs? Juddy Sports, come in, have you say. Everyone, come in, please. You're welcome. Are you open for that, people? Should we do this?
Yeah.
Jarvis, Andy.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Everybody wants to be
Yeah,
critical. Bring him in.
We're just normal fans like you, like everyone else. Just because we are on YouTube doesn't mean that we are normal people. We are as real as I can get, and we are.
Yeah, we're not adding anything. We're not adding anything. We're not cooking the books.
We're not part of the sales take process. You know what I mean? Mark is in the background. Mark, producer. You will add people into the stage. Mark, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How's everyone doing tonight? Enjoying the show myself. Watching
how's
from
the
the
VR
background.
room looking?
Yeah, it's
Any
looking great.
features?
Yeah, everyone's commenting on stuff there. Everyone seems a little bit more positive, but they're all mad. Just like all of us, we're all mad. The Glazers are screwing us over again. It's like clockwork, you know what I mean? But this time, I don't think anyone wants to sit down and take it lying down. So we're going to fight.
Clockwork
to the
Orange.
last.
Yeah. Angie as well, if you want to come in and have your say, it'll be so much. Luan France, everyone, please welcome. 155 likes. We are climbing in the Fahrenheit Richter scales. Craig Warby saying, I was watching Andy on the agenda and fella on they're called Bath Time. Yeah, Bath Time. Who is Bath Time? I always wonder.
Yeah, Bath Time was, he's put it one way. He did a lot of research, Bath Time, with the, what you call it, let's call it a Wolf of Wall Street layout, laying out what the path is forward with the alleged buyout by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and what it states and what plans are there, scenarios A, B, C, D, E, F, G, even the way all up down to bloody Z. So, like you say, Z, zombie, yeah, the zombie account, the zombie plan. You know what I mean?
No,
so
I think I've been on the stream with Bath Time before. I've been on the channel with Bath Time before, but I just don't know who he is because it's always hidden. But he's got some funny animations, the profile pictures. I was wondering, oh, this is interesting. How's the lads doing over there? How's Monday? How's Mr. B?
Yeah, they're okay. Mr. B's like he was munching on his Pringles tonight. Monday was just got in from work. He's got his dogs round him, chilling out.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, and there was another guy called Stuart as well. Really good guy. And,
listen,
we had a laugh about it as well because if you don't laugh about it, it'll kill you. Do you know what I mean? You got to try and have a giggle as you're going along with it.
Yeah. Producer Mark, can I just put you to backstage and let in one of our legends here as well? We are talking about Mr. Alien Tenor. Peter, how are you, mate? Are you there? What happened to Peter? Add to stage. Ah, there you are, Peter.
Man.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you holding up, mate? I mean, I was watching Adam the other day. I think it was yesterday. You were talking to each other, and your stitches and everything. Obviously, you fell down from the O stand, wasn't it? Or how are you holding up, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine. Big up Andy Tate. I met him a couple of times at OT. We had a talk there. He still thinks I'm posh because I'm from Chester. But big up.
Well, you're a 5-star Michelin chef, aren't you?
Big up. You know what? Listen, look, a couple of 58 boys text me today, and they're getting blackballed. For having a banner inside OT with Glazers out. The corner where it's like Stratford End to
the tunnel,
No
TRA.
yeah.
TRA, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm telling you, Andy, right? The targeting us to get rid of us. They don't want us there.
Yeah,
Not free speech, mate. You can't just like get you out. It's like
it's all fucking censorship, right?
Look, my lad sits in the TRA.
Do you know what? There's some fans on the take. There really is some fans on the take who want this from with the Glazers. I won't be surprised if Sir Jim give him.
Okay. Keep it down, but we're going to sleep.
You're in the doghouse. Big up, Mr. Pete, Mr. Elianteno. Say hello to your beautiful wife, will you?
We've got to keep it down for the, we've got to keep it down, guys. You know me.
That's me getting bitch slapped.
Well, weren't you supposed to? You said it in a super chat. I hope she's not listening. You wanted to send her to North Pole. Anyway, yeah. So
for what?
But yeah, I mean, look, something doesn't add up with this Jim deal, does it? It really doesn't. I can't put my finger on it, but you know what? Is this a ploy for the Glazers just to make Sheik Jassim pay the £6 billion? Is this their end game? Because there's nothing about the deal that's going to benefit Manchester United Football Club whatsoever about it.
It only benefits them. It only benefits them. That's it.
Or I'm going to put myself out here. I'm going to put my neck here to say, or is this the end game of Inos? Because if you look what Kave was writing, don't be surprised if this deals falls apart, the Ratcliffe one.
Yeah.
Is this the polite way to say goodbye? You bought yourself time into the boardroom. You had 69% on the table, which was challenged by the minority investors, legal litigations. There was vote of no confidence and no dividends to be taken up by the board in January, meaning that board is still powerful. They can still vote. They said no to dividends. No to dividends. Is this potentially a play for the gallery? Is this also the 92 Holding Foundation keeping silent and letting this to happen, as we've been cited before by Ben Jacobs and all that stuff, to say it's gamemanship?
So basically, you're saying Sheik Jassim's gonna come in like Iron Man, racing down and do a pose.
They've always been saying, at any moment and any blink of the eye, these gentlemen have money, but they're not mugs. They know that they've been over-evaluating the offer on $6 billion. That, even if you read the Reuters article, Reuters said he will not go over 6 billion. So meaning it's that 6 billion on the table, 6 billion pounds, not dollars, pounds. But at any blink of an eye, if they have this strategic review, which they're going to review apples to apples, so apples to pear in this sense, because one offers 25% and one offer everyone to walk away fat and happy. But then you will have Richard Arnold. It's like wondering what's going to happen to my job. Well, everyone is going to have a 100-day review, no matter what. No matter if it's Sir Ratcliffe or Sheik Jassim, everyone's going to have the same 100-day review.
Get saving.
I don't know.
I mean, I'll just say this, guys, because I'm going to have to go. But the problem with Ratcliffe's bid is this, where's the money coming from to improve Carrington, to improve Old Trafford, to, Gary Neville said it on his 16 bullet points, give an old, how can I put it, inverted commas, Disney World feeling to Manchester round Old Trafford. This is pie in the sky, stuff. It's not going to happen. Here's Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Disney feel to Old Trafford. He's going to shell frack the land around Old Trafford. That's what he's going to do.
Ellington as well. And he'll hide behind them rebuilding it. He will frack the place.
He will fracking hell. Sorry to say that. You mentioned a very good point, Peter, because I did a podcast long time ago.
I'm going to go anyway, guys. Okay,
Peter. So good to see you, mate. Speak to you later, my friend. Take it easy, Pete. Peter coming in here raw as well with an uppercut because he, I've done so many podcasts and I did mention it like 4 or 5 months ago regarding the PDL 197, I think it's called, which is the fracking right around the whole entire Trafford area, right? And that is owned by Inos. So if you get that land asset, decide to knock down like an Old Trafford and move it to somewhere else, like they do in USA, for instance, where they call like, what do you call it there? It's all the stadiums are a little bit outskirts. So basically, you have that land, you knock it down, and eventually, you have energy crisis at the moment. Like, eventually the government's going to grant like for UK to frack, like, to get energy, right? If we're talking about that sense, that is a plausible thing.
Knock down Old Trafford. So where do we play?
London? Build another stadium somewhere else.
No. While they're doing it, let's say they'll knock down Old Trafford and frack it, and they'll move.
And frack it.
Would they move? Would United basically play in London, play at Wembley for 3 years?
Well, I don't know. That's why I have the thumbnail to burn the place down.
You won't put it past them.
If you look at my thumbnail, I said burn it down. It has a point to it. Do we accept this, or we just burn down Old Trafford and start fresh somewhere? Are we going to accept to be violated another 10 years from now? Sky Cave mentioned it. If you're buying 25% now, is there any guarantee where we will be now from 6 years from now? Are we going to be the Magnificent Seven, where Glazer bought himself? I mean, where Ratcliffe bought himself into the family by becoming the seventh Glazer. It's even freaking worse.
Well, it's worth pointing out that
no worries, Peter. I see your WhatsApp wife is in bitch mode. He said he would WhatsApp me.
Ineos paid $1.5 billion for fracking rights in the US about 4 months ago. Fracking is a major part of their business. Major part of their business. So I'm not surprised if he's looking at for those rights at all.
Peter Day saying, not a United fan. I'm confused why United fans are so angry with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Mate, if you're not a United fan, you wouldn't understand. But if you've been following it, I don't know who you support, but if the Glazers had no intention to selling to Qatar.
So looking on the outside, guy, you don't understand. You really don't understand.
Why Sir Jim Ratcliffe? Because he's a snake. He claims to be a Manchester Boyhood United fan, yet you're a season ticket Chelsea holder, yet you wanted to buy Chelsea, yet your sons are Chelsea supporters, yet you're just looking to, in your twilight of your career, you said it yourself, me, Peter, and what's his name? There's two others there. We want to sort of be philanthropists, we want to step away, but it's our vision to own a Premier League club. That's what he said. So they would just do anything to, to say, I own Manchester United 25%, just to own it for my personal ego. But there's nothing in your manifesto. It's basically saying put Manchester back into Manchester. What does that mean, man? Right? There's so many jobs and opportunities that went missing. Like, and if you look at City, for instance, what they've done, they've grown that community, right? There's been so much money pumped into, so much jobs being created. What Sheik Jassim came in and promised was to pledge additionally almost 1.9 billion for restructuring, to create jobs, create opportunities. And you have a phone call, and I know it's
we have a new caller.
We do.
Yep.
I know, and it's so refreshing, and I applaud you, Tom journalist. Where have you been? Hello and welcome. How are you feeling, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great anyway, but you guys already know the reasons why. I already explained it, but I just thought I'd come on and give a bit of a contribution while I've got a bit of free time. So
you're welcome.
You
didn't have
my
to
mind away from things.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear what happened to your family. We're not going to pry, but all condolences to whatever happened. You have all the backing and support. There's 400 of you watching right now in the VR room. Smash a like. Give all the love and support for Tom as well. So Tom, welcome, and proud of you for coming in to have your say.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on anyway. And I just, like I said, I want to do something, I guess, take my mind away from things a bit and stuff. And well, jumping out the frying pan into the fire, isn't it? Where they're talking about Man United. But
Tom, do you call me mad, or do you call me a proper realist? Like, we've been having conversations. Like, I'm not sensational jumping on this. You know that I do my digging. So what's your take on the overall madness of the past 48 hours?
Shock, surprise. Don't really know, to be honest. It comes as a massive shock for everybody. I think it ruined everybody's Saturday. Put it that way. Probably ruined everybody's weekend. Me personally, like I said, I got it with a bit of a double whammy, so I haven't really had time to give any thoughts about what's actually happened with the football club. But I just think at the end of the day, the way that one bid was set up, it was the dream that everybody could have hoped for, really. It was a fresh start. It was something new. It was innovation. And then you have something from somebody else who we don't know what the plan is, but he's gone by whatever means necessary to get himself in the door or get one foot in the door. And that's effectively what he's going to do.
He bought himself a ticket. He bought himself a
ticket,
a speeding ticket into the boardroom.
Yeah, he bought himself really the golden ticket that's going to give him an opportunity to own the club in the future. But he's done it off of the back of brain and making people believe that he's a Manchester United fan. He's gloated around that he wants to put Manchester back into Manchester United. And I mean, look at it for what it is, guys. The guy's changed his proposal every 5 minutes. 1 minute he was going to buy all of it, then it was 50%. Now he's stooped even further low, and he only wants to buy 25%.
He pulled his pants down all the to his ankle, exposed himself.
Well, he wants to have he wants to have sporting control of the football club, which I don't really see how that's going to work, if I'm being completely honest with you, because there'll come one point in time where there's going to be a roadblock where the Glazer family and Ratcliffe won't agree on something. And I don't understand how that's going to work out. And the way that that's going to work out, from my interpretation, is that the family own more of the club and control the club over Ratcliffe. So unless this sporting controls binder it, and he has everything pinpointed and has the say of every single decision internally of the football club, effectively,
including player purchases.
Well, he'd have to if he's going to have sporting control, because that's the key point.
Well, if the majority still decision maker of the commercials is the Glazers, you still have that escalation model. Like if things were slow with the Glazers and Joel signing up on every single deal, and you're adding on an extra layer to it. I mean, it's not Lean Six Sigma here, isn't it? It's not. It's just tightening that bottleneck even further, by adding on an extra layer, right? So if we are now acting slow in the market and adding on an extra layer on top of that, it's going to be double the decision making.
Of course it is, but even in saying that, the money that he's using to just invest into Manchester United right now, like, people are going to wonder where the money's actually going and what it actually accounts for. It's more towards that he's going to buy a set of each of the shares equally, and he's going to get it up to 25%. But the Glazer family shares he can buy effectively straight away, and then the minority investors, he's going to have to negotiate set prices to buy those out individually within the cost price to buy 25%. But effectively, most of the money that will come in for the 25%, that's going to be decided upon whatever the Glazer family want to do with it. And with the way that they didn't want to fully sell the football club, or they didn't go for that option, I would be very shocked if they invested any of the money back into Manchester United. It would be the smart thing to do, because then they could grow the value of the club if they want to try and make it worth upwards of 10 billion in the next 5 years. That's the smart thing to do. You invest into a new stadium. And I mean, 1.5 billion, it doesn't build you a new one, but it certainly improves upon the one that you've got. If you want to build, this 90,000 capacity stadium that they were on about building to match and rival Wembley, I mean, the costing pricing, plus you don't have the amount of land that Wembley actually has in London. So trying to contain a 90,000 capacity stadium in the place that United have, they won't ground share with Manchester City. So they're going to have to build it somewhere within the vicinity, or they're going to have to buy enough land anyway to build on that site and build a new stadium while they still play at Old Trafford. But even in saying that, I mean, if people want to go down the road of build a new Old Trafford next to the old one, I mean, you're talking 5-6 years, guys. If you want a 90,000 capacity stadium, the amount of investment that's going to need into that, they just don't have the land to still play at Old Trafford right now and build a new one.
Yeah, no.
So, and even rebuild. I mean, even when people say just refurbish what you've got now, you can't build on the south stand because
You can't.
obviously
The thing
everybody
is,
knows they've
Tom,
tried to get the rights to increase it for it to have another tier on it, and they
Yeah.
haven't been able to get the legal contracts by
because
the actual county to do it,
Tom,
and the
Tom, correct
council
me.
won't sign off on it.
Tom, correct
Trafford
me if I'm.
Council.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, because they've done some land survey, and when they are so. How do I explain? When you build something, you always count into for expansion plans, but in this case, they didn't. So the ground that it stands for doesn't really hold the capacity to do anything further. It is a very shaky ground. I mean,
Not
where
where-
Old Trafford.
Not with the actual structure where it is now. If you knocked Old Trafford down, the only problem is where you're going to play. That's the only issue. So you can knock Old Trafford down tomorrow and you could build a 90,000 stadium on it because you'd just be able to move the capacity out more.
Or
And if need be, you could buy the land, or you up sticks and you move somewhere else, which I think would have major backlash from the fan base based upon, well, you're not going to be walking down St Matt Busby Way anymore, are you? And the history of United's gone.
Yeah. Or you could. It is a tough pill to swallow. I do understand. You could still build a stadium next to it, right?
That's what a lot of people said, but they don't have the major land to do this 90,000 stadium next to it. They would have to build some of it up, kind of do what Tottenham did with the Hotspur Stadium and what Arsenal did with the Emirates. You can build a quarter or a quadrant of it, but then in the meantime, while that's being built, you can still play there for maybe another season. But to complete the full project, you're going to have to play at least 2 or 3 years elsewhere. Which that's where the deal breaker is, because there isn't a Wembley up north to hold 70,000 Manchester United fans.
You won't put it past them to go play at Wembley for 2 years. You really honestly, the way it's gone in the last week or so, you wouldn't put it past this club to go to Wembley and put another meme out there. I told you all Man United fans were from London. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anybody who sees a ticket holder Manchester, guess what? You're screwed. I'll pay your season ticket as well as travel, as well as staying over. Oh yeah, I'll be on the 9:30 to Euston and back by 11 o'clock and back in bed. Yeah. you won't put this club to play at Wembley for the next 2 years.
Scotty at the wheel saying.
Arsenal did it in the mid-90s with the Champions League. They played their games at Wembley. I do remember that. And Tottenham as well. I've done it as well. And if Chelsea are looking to do their stadium as well, Chelsea could even use Wembley. So nothing is off the table in this world now.
Nothing is. Scotty at the wheel, big up, mate. Sorry people for not being able to reading all your chats. We just there's so many of you. We see you, we feel you. I posted the link if you want to come in and have your say. Everyone is welcome to have a chat. Scott at the wheel saying you could extend the south stand over the railway and make it 3 tiers.
You've got a bank on the other side, and you've got houses.
They can't even fix the fucking leaking roof, can they?
People walking through your garden, going out the stadium.
How come they haven't fixed the roof yet? Is there such a difficult problem?
They don't have the investment, or they don't have the planners to actually do it. That's the problem. But one thing that I think the worrying thing is that I don't think a lot of people have spoken about is the actual naming rights. What will they do with that? If the Glazer family could do it, they would sell the naming rights of Old Trafford off to whoever. Especially when you build a new stadium, it's very common you'll have a big sponsor that will go in with you.
A dildo arena.
Well, the one thing that I think really would stand out with Inos would be Mercedes-Benz. He already owns a third of the Mercedes Formula One team. Mercedes-Benz have numerous stadium sponsorships in America for NFL and NBA teams. So I wouldn't personally be surprised if they went down the road of a partner that he already works with or he owns already.
So you mean to get like they do in America, they get the council to pay for the stadium?
Well,
for AFL?
I'll give you a story anyway with the Glazer family, because they did it with Tampa Bay. When
Exactly what they did with Tampa.
When the Buccaneers wanted to build a new stadium, the Glazer family put the payments in place, but then they put the leverage of it onto the actual fans, and they said, if you don't pay for it, we're going to move Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of Tampa Bay and we're going to play somewhere else. And then if they played somewhere else, they would have got the financing from another council to build the actual stadium. No, not council, sorry, from another state in Florida. Then they would have got the permission to build a new stadium there. So what did they do? They made the fans pay for it. Stan Kroenke did the same thing when he built the SoFi Stadium for the LA Rams. He said, if the fans, if you don't pay for it, I'm pulling it out of there, and you won't be playing in Los Angeles. You're playing in wherever, San Diego, wherever. I'll pull it and play. I'll pull it and put it somewhere else.
The owners of the San Diego Chargers, they were the San Diego Chargers, weren't they? They moved to
that's it.
San Diego lost their team.
American laws around sports ownership, you can do these things, and it is almost fan blackmail. If you don't pay for it, then we're not doing it. That's it. And American billionaires, they get away with it.
So a pirate ship, eh? It shows what they are. You get a pirate ship in your fucking stadium. When you get a touchdown, it fires off a cannon. Arr, touchdown. Arr, fucking touchdown.
But that's the worrying thing for me anyway, is the actual naming rights of the stadium. Right?
So you implicating, Tom, that they could go to the market to say, even if we acquire 25%, we can go on a sponsorship model that get Mercedes to sponsor it, build a stadium for $1 billion, and they have the naming rights for 25 years.
Well, they partner with him. I mean, he owns a third of the Formula One.
I'm just a hypothetical, like to say it could be it could be anyone. Let's say
Mick, it couldn't even. It doesn't even have to be Mercedes. It could be Apple. Apple don't have
wherever.
They don't have TV rights, so they're not in the sports business. If they want
Amazon Arena,
Amazon Old Trafford or whatever, or you can call it whatever you want. The naming rights are what it is.
The
Shithouse Arena.
But at the end of the day,
the Pornhub Arena. That's what United will do.
Jesus Christ.
Beep.
Pornhub Arena. Yeah, the Triple X Arena. That's more like it.
But literally, you could call it anything under any jurisdiction that you want. But if they're going to go down the model of that Ratcliffe's not going to have the money to pay for the stadium, or he doesn't have the influence to be able to put the right finances in place to do it himself because he doesn't have control. Well, the Glazer family haven't built a new stadium it's needed a new stadium, really, if we're being honest, for like 10 years. And they've never really put the plans in place to ever do it. And when you're talking about if you want to build it, because I think the one thing with United, it's got that bad to the point where I think a lot of people are in agreement that it probably does need just starting from scratch and something new, but keep it where it is, keep the legacy and the history of the club.
Oh, yeah. But even the Rats have got season tickets there. And they're coming up through the fucking toilets. They've got fucking exclusivity.
They have VIP golden tickets. Even if we build that, we can call it like, we mug you arena, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is one thing to consider, that if Ratcliffe is successful with this 25%, it's a piece of piss for Ineos to knock down Old Trafford and rebuild it. The architecture that they've got, I don't know, 40, 50 sites worldwide, globally. They'll have infrastructure, architecture. It'll be a piece of piss for them to do it. It'll be a no-brainer. And he could get Ineos to fund that anyway, because Ineos will have a separate business within their structure, which will purely and simply be,
but they wouldn't. The backlash from knocking down Old Trafford to where you're going to play for 2-3 years would be immense. Absolutely immense.
Guys, we lost Jarvis. He has to go on. I think he went to Nuruddin's channel. United Real Therapy.
Busy tonight.
It's all busy. So he went.
Everybody wants it, don't they?
Everybody's transferring to other channels here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. We're all going on we're jumping ship, we're not flip-flopping though, but big up for Jarvis for coming in as well. If you go to Nuruddin's channel later on and have a more of a rant there as well, guys. But we have 175 likes. I can see here what Stephanie was saying. If we can get up to 200, that would be fantastic. We've been cooking here in this kitchen. We have 175 likes, according to Stephanie was saying. Guys, if you haven't smashed that like button, please help us in the algorithm, promote this video. It glazes out green and gold until we're 100% fully sold. No more bankers there to be played. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, I don't think it's over. I think this is a play for the gallery. I think who is benefiting from this stock market is plunging. Vultures is coming in. You have the, excuse me, Tom, I do respect, we are journalists, both of us, but the so-called privileged apparatus there as well. They've been benefiting, milking the max out of it and portraiting stories. But anyway, nothing has been decided. Nobody's told that Inos is in the front pole. It's been all generated. The narrative has been generated, by my understanding, by certain journalists as well. They are going to have by Ornstein as well, which is more mature, to say he didn't follow that. He said both bidders going to be presented in the board meeting. Right? Stranger things has happened. Nothing is over. Ain't over to the fat lady things, people. You got to believe. And like Manchester United, never say die. That's the mentality you got to have. I know that people were saying to give up, Mick, give up. It's over. It's over. Why should I? It's like me coming to the battlefield, like, coming to play Manchester City or Liverpool and just lay down before we even kick the ball. To give up. You might as well just walk over, peeps. I think that Sheik Jassim, what Angie's saying, I think that Sheik Jassim has just gotten so pissed off with the rats. Alden 3 said, I'm not going to see the YouTube algorithm, forgive me. Can I say fuck you? He's now calmed down, having to chat with advisors before coming back with an offer they can't refuse. That's the thing. On a blink of an eye, on a switch, they got money, but they're no mugs. If they really wanted to...
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, really? What would they do if they did do that? They've basically... Well, if we're being honest, they've basically brokered a deal with Ratcliffe already, they've not signed and sealed anything yet. There's no agreement because they've got to put it to the board for the vote.
Accepted.
But then if you want to go for that... No, but what I'm saying is there's not been the actual vote by the club to say that bid can be passed through legally, but also we believe it's in the best interests of the club. But if they don't veto it, or if the vote doesn't come into place before then, and Sheik Jassim from wherever just blows up and puts in the money that they was asking for, I don't know how they'd react personally, because they've broken like the
Ronaldo transfer. This
is it, Andy. But they've brokered the deal that they kind of wanted because a couple of them was naive in wanting to actually leave in Joel and Avram, unless they got ridiculous money. But then if that ridiculous money comes, what do they do? That's the thing that I'm thinking. What do they actually do?
But realistically speaking, what they do, realistically speaking, Tom, the only persons that have been creating these expectations and the narrative has been the British press. They're the ones that have been reporting how much money. They don't have a Scooby-Doo how much has been put in. It's been speculative. There's been like, all of a sudden he's in pole position. He's leading the race. Now he's out. It's been back and forward like a yo-yo. You know what I mean? So the only one that's creating this narrative, it's been the British apparatus press.
Well, you know why that is, don't you? Anyway, Mick, because Sir Jim's is the perfect Manchester United owner.
Yes,
brought up in Failsworth.
That's what they're trying to portray. The
petrochemical billionaire, Britain's richest man. But you look at it from this perspective. You want to deep dive on Ratcliffe. He's Britain's richest man. He doesn't even live in the UK.
No.
You know why he don't live in the UK?
Monaco.
He wants to avoid the tax laws.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah, he's been done for tax evasion 15 years ago.
He was.
Yeah. I'm not stupid, because when Sky Sports newsreader or Sky News broke the story, it was a female old lady that broke it, but she had to finish off with a punchline: sports washing, and then she went like this: Sheik Jassim is out. Smirk. Like, did you have to do that?
Why do you think I cancelled my Sky Sports subscription? Don't do it. Don't do it, mate. Don't do it anymore. Don't do Sky.
Then we have the independent Miguel Delaney. We have all of them voicing their political opinions, because they don't want.
But they're not financial journalists, though, Mick. You know, they're sports journalists. They're not financial journalists. There's a big difference. I'm a sports journalist. I'm not a financial journalist, you know, and that's the difference.
So big up Kave for coming out to say, like, to question these hard questions on Twitter, which we covered before. But he also said, do not totally rule out a scenario whereby Ratcliffe deals falls apart. He knows something, and that gives an opportunity for Sheik Jassim to re-enter the process. At any given Sunday, he's not a mug, right? It's what we said. You have a Skoda there, a rusty old Skoda from 1978, right? Has an 18 years standing there, rusting, and you want me to pay what? 6 billion when it's worth 4 billion? Are you kidding me? Who's the mug? They're not stupid. So they know they have the money, but they just been riding the wave. Like, let them fucking talk. Let them do this. We just play along. Oh yeah, we're out of the race. But do remember what Ornstein was saying in the beginning of this process. Expect a seismic moment, he said. You remember that words?
You did.
It's going to be a seismic moment.
This could be it. That moment was Saturday. He could be right on that. Or it could, if there's another one to come, so be it. But it could have been and gone.
Yeah. Seismic moment, he said. That's all he said. And then he had no dog in the fight.
Do you not think, though, that with the Qataris anyway, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot when they opened the war chest to say that we've got
I'm not
so
going to
much
swear,
money
Craig. I'm not.
We've got so much money on the side that we're willing to invest into United. Of course, that would be brilliant for all of us on here to know that United are going to have such a high level of investment. It would do a lot of good, but the Glazers family don't care what you do with the football club after you sell it to them.
But what about the stories to say that they didn't? They leaked out stories to say they didn't like this statement that he wants to put Manchester back on glory.
But didn't Sir Jim come out with the same sort of speech on the same time when the bids were when he entered it? He said somewhat along the same lines of what Qatar said, and both were like briefed to say you can't say that. So Sir Jim said the same sort of things. And it's out there for everybody to see. You go back, it's out there.
There you go.
Kicks.
If they don't know. That's really interesting. That is.
Kicks, you want to come in and have you see, you don't have to show your face, just explain. You know, I can paste it before we close the shop, mate, because you've been providing some really good insights here as well. What you're saying here, Kicks, the financial journalists don't even, what are you saying? They don't know either. We have them in our offices all the time.
Well, there you go. Then. There's no way Romano knows then. No chance.
No chance. Romano just reacted on Sky Sports.
With what he said, though.
Well, the thing is, Andy, these guys, he's talking about FT journalists, he's talking about Reuters, he's talking about Bloomberg. I mean, these guys, this is what they do. And he's right. They'll be in their offices, you know, every day.
Just say this goes the other way. Romano's going to look all right. To like I say, as I would say, all right, fool.
They're all going to be prats. They're all going to be in the mud for jumping the gun. This is not a transfer market. This is what you're going to come out and say, here we go. I'm going to make a name, even take it to the next level. I say transfer journalists, stick to sports, stick what you're doing best. Even Bloomberg in the UK has been having a dog in the fight lately as well, because once they started running with the story, they have to follow up. You know, he started with Sky Sports Romano, then he went to ESPN, Rob Dawson, then it snowballed effect to BBC, and then finally Bloomberg came in and also said the same thing. And then Reuters at the end of the day, Aaron Bensen, that's not been reporting much about it, didn't correlate with it as well. He just basically said that he refuses to raise his bid and cited this guy, that the sources come from, what do you call it? Sky Sports News, right? So where's Sky Sports News getting the information from? And then you have more of a Kave contradicting and saying, well, don't rule out a scenario where Ratcliffe deal can fall apart, is a tweet here as well, right? So I smell a dead rat here. I smell a fish.
They've analysed every situation and every possible answer, and they're putting everything out there. So
it's just playing poker, isn't it? It's playing blackjack. You spread bet as much as you possibly can, and then you'll either win your hand or you lose your hand, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, the cards will be shown. I think now is the end of the strategic review. Basically, everyone made it to put in the bid. Sheik Jassim's bid has been submitted. They have completed all the legal transactions and work and all the paperwork. It's on the table. It's been there. It's just been the delay has been from Inos' side. They've been restructuring, delaying the process. But from a board perspective, from an obligation towards the shareholders' financial perspective, they have to put this on the table. Do you understand how it works? It has to come.
I just like to say, I don't know what's going to happen. This could be political involvement as well. So I don't know, mate. I don't know what will happen on Thursday.
Well, it might be so. It might be so. Let's play a devil's advocate. Let's just play assumptions right now. Nothing sensational. What if this is all planned PR freaking agenda to sort of lure you in to say, well, here's the winning bid, blah, blah, blah. Behind the scenes, what David wants to say, wait for a seismic moment. And all of a sudden, ta-da, we fooled you, drum roll. Sheik Jassim is going to buy the whole, like, for 8 billion, never 9 billion, whatever. Everyone hunky-dory. It's going to break the internet. Everyone's going to be happy. We've seen the story.
The biggest episode of Coronation Street this side.
We know that Manchester United as a club love the social media hype. They like to dry it out. They like to come out. They like us to be nervous. And at the end of the day, ba-bam, here we go.
They want to break the internet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, yeah, this is the biggest surprise.
What will happen, yeah. It's if you think the Washington Commanders got sold for just over $6 billion, right? And it only just made a small, a small blimp in the UK. This will be global. This will be absolutely global.
It's like, here we go for it, but he's going to fail the medical test.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, did we get up to 200 likes, please? It's been almost 2 hours stream. This was all for you, global fan base. You all had it. I shared the links. 190 likes. We are 10 away from 200. I guess we will catch up in retrospective. We had Jarvis. They went out to Nuruddin's channel. You guys can continue to Nuruddin's channel. This podcast was special extra edition was actually for the global fan base to have a say. I shared the link thank you for everyone that came in and have a say. Tom, you didn't have to, but we really appreciate you coming in as well. Hope you got your mind taken off of something else, and there Tom disappeared as well. Anyway, thank you, Tom. And Mark, I want to bring Mark to the stage. How is the VR being handling? You're on mute. Can we have a sign language translator, please?
They've been doing fine. They've been enjoying the show. It's a lot of interaction tonight. You know what I mean? It's really busy tonight. It's lots of people in the chat. 360 watching right now. It was up to like 500 earlier.
Busy, huh? Busy in the green room.
Busy show.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution behind the scenes.
No problem.
You for making this happen as well. And guys, tune in the mornings because you will find Mark having the keys to the kingdom, providing you with his thoughts and opinions. Just reporting on the gash out there. Anyway, good to see Andy Tate as well. You must be exhausted, mate.
Exhausted, believe me, mate. I've had like a chilled Sunday. I was working last night. Takes the mind off the stress of Man United, and basically, God knows what's going to happen this Thursday. You won't put it past this club to broadcast it live to get the clicks as well. You won't put it past them to broadcast this meeting live.
What's the lads at the paddock thinking like? Are they mixed emotions there? Are they believing this bullshit, or are they saying being more rational, level-headed? So let's wait and see.
I don't know. I really don't know. They're Jay and Joel. They're favouring the Sir Jim takeover if there's a pathway. Personally, I'm not. You know what I mean? So everyone's entitled to their opinion. They're my boys. I love and respect them. I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days. So you don't know.
Big up Kicks. No worries, Kicks, but we appreciate Kicks for providing everyone that's been providing your feedback here. That's what we're all about, a global community. Big up to Paddock, big up to every fan channel that's providing. Keep it real, keep the fight going, and don't believe the hype. Don't believe what the corporate clickbait media is trying to tell you, right? I want you to take a step back, think about everything that's been discussed, use your own logic, sense, and reasoning, start using your brain. Don't believe the headlines, and everything will fall eventually into place. The truth must come out sooner or later. That's all we can say. Be real, right?
The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.
Yeah. Free, set you free. What was your Kicks was saying? Yeah, we achieved 200 likes, so we can close the shop now. We took your dividends here, people. Kicks was saying,
yeah.
What did you say, Kicks? That there was something about NDA. Read that comment. I don't understand.
There's an NDA. My team says no one knows. It's all BS.
Yeah, with all no appreciate Kicks. It's an NDA. Nobody knows.
Brilliant.
This is the journalistic. They're just like rats snooping around and just reporting on gossip. That's it, right? What happened to respected journalism? Like, it used to be the way it used to be.
Died years ago, mate.
It went after COVID.
I go by Nuruddin.
It went during COVID.
I say like Nuruddin, stenographers, echo chambers, right? If you ever get a chance on YouTube, go watch this Indian news channel called VON, right? Proper. I really enjoy it because, there's a lady called Palkisha. I can't remember Palkisha, but she presents the news in such a traditional way, which I stand for, right? She presents you with one side, from, good, bad, and the ugly. At the end of the day, the truth is in the middle, right? Anyway, guys, Amy Rourke, good to see you again, all the way from USA. We have so many people international. I believe that this is the drum roll. Jarvis is on the Flying Pig United. Is he on the Flying Pig? Is he with Joe?
I thought he was on Mr. Structure.
Oh no, okay, he's with Joe. Fantastic. Then we all go to Joe's channel. Big up Joe as well.
Joe's not on tonight. It's Maisie. It's Maisie, him, and Griffo Chaz.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah. Go support Flying Pig United. It's also non-corporate clickbait, guys. Telling it is what it is. Big up to all of you guys. Listen, smash a like. We already achieved the target. We have discussed as a community nothing special more than, what's real, what's not real. Don't believe the media. Use your brains, people. Exactly what we want to finish off, guys. Eva Bosic is saying 6.05 billion is the most expensive team sell in the US. That is what Qatar needs to beat, in your opinion. We will see. We will see. It ain't over until the fat lady sings in opera, at least what they say. So,
well, she's clearing her throat, mate. I tell you.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, Mark, everyone that's been helping out with the stream, love you. Glazers out, bankers out, love and like. Stay beautiful to each other, love each other on the socials. Don't go against each other. Keep the faith, peeps. What Angela is saying. Big up, Angie, for being such a trooper here. Thank you for donating 20 memberships. Same with you, Fatty, as well. Big up, Mixed Stew, Andy, Mark. Great show. Big up to all of you. Glazes out. Sheila Owen is here as well. I can see you don't follow me. I'm lost too. Yeah. Good to see you, Sheila, as well. Great show, guys. What Kick's saying. Great show. Guys, you are the show. You, the viewers, are the show. You are the content. That's it. There was no planned content. And Andy Tate. Oh, yeah. Andy, the legendary Andy. And Stu Wally. Guys, Andy, enjoy your evening. Say hello to your missus. You too. And catch us live tomorrow morning with no other than Mark X up there. Mark, what's you going to talk tomorrow? Any plans? You kind of kiss and tell? Or?
I have a few ideas yet, but I haven't really finished the presentation, so I'll keep that secret until they see the billboard in the morning.
Yeah,
you can't say because of NDAs. You don't have to have a presentation. Your presence, just press record, talk to the fan base, and what you have on your mind. That's all you have to do. Not always is about presenting things, right? That's it. True, thank you, guys. Thank you, Sheila, as well. Okay, time to close the shop. Thank you so much, Edward Reed, William Connolly, Jamie Wayne, all the super chatters. Peter, Alien 10 of Peter. Did I forget anyone that's super chatted as well? If I do, my apologies. But anyway, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Good night, people. And it's time for Bella to say goodbye. Bella is in the corner, our AI assistant. By the way, she's not real, but she looks real. Good night, people. Glazes out.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, "Thanks." Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United. Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.